During the spring and autumn period in China more than 2,500 years ago, the royal family declined, rituals and music collapsed, and the princes of the world were in dispute. Today they're friends, tomorrow they're enemies, and wars are everywhere. In the continuous wars, an outstanding military strategist grew up. His name was Sun Wu. Sun Wu's family of 5 originally lived in Lian, his state, his grandfather's fiefdom. As the civil war in Qi continued, Sun Wu took his family on a long journey to Luofa Mountain in the state of Wu. Luofa Mountain is not far from Maili, the capital of Wu State, and is on the edge of Tahu Lake. Standing on the top of Luofa Mountain, you can have a panoramic view of the beauty of Tahu Lake. Sun Wu's home is located on the edge of a forest in Luofa Mountain. There are several thatched houses in a neat and orderly manner. A vegetable patch next to the thatched houses is filled with mist all day long. Sun Wu usually writes books in his room. Others say he writes about the art of war. In his free time, he goes to the vegetable field to serve the delicious dishes that will be made. His life is peaceful. Sun Wu had 3 sons. The eldest son, Sun Kai, the second son, Sun Ming, and the third son, Sun Di. The eldest son, Sun Si, often pulls his father to ask him to tell stories from books. Sun Wu said that what the book tells is not stories, but strategies and methods for defeating the enemy. There are 13 chapters in total. Sun Si often peeked at the military books written by Sun Wu, and he seemed to understand the art of war written in it. Sun Tzu's Art of War, also known as Sun Wu's Art of War, is the earliest extant art book in China and the earliest military work in the world. It is known as the Holy Book of Martial Arts and the Swan Song of military strategists. It embodies the philosophy of Taoism and military strategists in every aspect. There are 13 chapters in the book, including initial planning, operations, attack, military shape, military situation, virtual reality, military struggle, 9 changes, march, terrain, 9 places, and fire attack. Yongjin chapter basically uses political strategy as the longitude and war process as the latitude to plan the layout of the chapter. The content involves the laws of war, philosophy, strategy, politics, economy, diplomacy, astronomy, geography, etc. In terms of strategic thinking, Sun Tzu's emphasis on knowledge, advocating change and advocating strategy, and in terms of tactical thinking, he proposed a series of contradictory categories to grasp the laws of war movements, such as friend and foe, host and guest, numbers, strength and weakness, offense and defense, advance and retreat, victory or defeat, virtual reality, etc. Regarding war issues, Sun Tzu believes soldiers are a major issue for the country, the place of life and death, and the path to survival. In terms of strategy, Sun Tzu advocated the province-wide strategy of subduing the enemy's troops without fighting. In terms of implementation, we attach great importance to defeating strategies and defeating friendships. In terms of combat operations, we emphasize that a victory is more valuable than a long-lasting victory. Nowadays, Sun Tzu's art of war has not only been widely used in the military field, but also widely used in various fields such as politics, economy, diplomacy, and business management, and has achieved remarkable achievements. Life is like a battlefield without smoke. Although the forms are different, the essence is the same. On the battlefield, You need to fight wits and courage. Use your mind as the most advantageous weapon to kill, and use your mind to open the door to success. In the endless battlefield of life, we must use Sun Tzu's eyes to see and analyze the world, so as to find our own path to success, seize the opportunities in life, and walk solidly and steadily on the road of life. Sun Tzu's thoughts on the art of war are integrated with other thoughts and complement each other, inheriting the advantages of his predecessors and inheriting his own characteristics. In the form of a military monograph, it tells about all aspects of life, the dialecticals in philosophy, various forms of communication in the world, and unfavorable living conditions. Life is a game, and good use of the art of war can get twice the result with half the effort, and change the pattern of life. Here is Sun Tzu's military art. Sun Tzu believed that war is a major national event, affecting the life and death of the country, and must be studied carefully. As soldiers are important matters of the country, the place of life and death, and the path to survival. We must pay attention to them. Strictly speaking, Sun Tzu is an anti-war, and war here specifically refers to military actions and battles on the frontal battlefield. The reason is that war is a war of resource consumption and a last resort, and in frontal battlefield battles, even if the enemy can be defeated, one's own losses are inevitable. The best victory is to win without fighting. That is not through frontal combat, but through other methods to consume the enemy's army and defeat the enemy. Those who are good at fighting are those who subjugate the enemy without fighting, or the one who puts the whole country first, destroys the country second. Sun Tzu was the first to put forward the importance of military intelligence in the art of war. He advocated knowing the enemy and yourself. You will not be in danger in 100 battles, not knowing the enemy but knowing yourself. You will win and lose every time. Not knowing the enemy and yourself, you will be in danger in every battle. On the one hand, various methods should be used, including sending spies to obtain and explore the enemy's military information, deployment, movements, and supplies, while keeping their own military information strictly confidential, or distributing false military information, which is false and true, to deceive the enemy and make the enemy believe that the false information is true. Sun Tzu emphasized preparation for war. Therefore, when using troops, don't rely on the enemy not coming. Rely on us being prepared to wait for him. Don't rely on the enemy not attacking. Rely on us having something that cannot be attacked. Sun Tzu said that the highest level of warfare is to use strategy. The second is to use diplomacy. The third is to use military intimidation. And the lowest level of warfare is to storm a city. The first is to attack the enemy with troops. The second is to attack the enemy. The second is to attack the enemy. The third is to attack the city. Sun Tzu often used metaphorical descriptions, such as his emphasis on momentum and restraint battle plans with concentration and timing, describing the former as like boulders on a fast river, and the latter as birds attacking prey. The most famous one was later adopted by Takeda. The flag of the wind forest volcano used by Shingen. It is as fast as the wind, as slow as the forest, as aggressive as fire, as motionless, as unpredictable as the dark, and as moving as thunder. Sun Tzu believed that victory in war lies in the enemy's vulnerability to be exploited. Sun Tzu often used metaphorical descriptions, such as his emphasis on momentum and restraint battle plans with concentration and timing, describing the former as like boulders on a fast river, and the latter as birds attacking prey. The most famous one was later adopted by Takeda. The flag of the wind forest volcano used by Shingen. It is as fast as the wind, as slow as the forest, as aggressive as fire, as motionless, as unpredictable as the dark, and as moving as thunder. Sun Tzu believed that victory in war lies in the enemy's vulnerability to be exploited. Sun Tzu advocated that the use of troops depends on the combination of right and wrong and a warrior. Use right combination and strange to win. A right can be regarded as playing cards according to the rules, and strange can be regarded as playing cards that do not follow the rules. There is no difference between the two. There are certain rules, no need to be rigid. Later, in Li Weigan questions, Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty specifically asked Li Jing about the ratio between Jiangxi and Qi, and Li Jing answered uncertainly. Sun Tzu argued that only the generals leading the troops understand the situation on the battlefield. Even if the monarch orders an attack, he must consider disobeying him even if he knows that the attack will fail. When it comes to dealing with defeated troops, it is particularly advocated to leave their retreat to avoid a desperate counterattack. Therefore, Sun Tzu advocated, don't chase the poor enemy, because the enemy will be surrounded by enemies. Sun Tzu said that those who are good at using troops should pay attention to the mutual care of each position in the army when marching, and they should be like Suran, a kind of snake who can help each other from head to tail. The battlefield situation is similar to the principle of surprise. Sun Tzu also advocated throw yourself into death and then survive, and be trapped in death and then survive. This means that the characteristics of the troops must be considered and the momentum of a desperate fight should be stimulated at the right time. This was used later in the Battle of Jinqing between Han and Han when they defeated Zhao Go and Shen Yu in a last-ditch battle. Sun Tzu believes that soldiers are impermanent, just like water, with different situations. Therefore, victory can be achieved due to changes in the enemy, and only then can soldiers be used like gods. Therefore, soldiers have no constant momentum, and water has no constant shape. Those who can win due to changes in the enemy are called gods.